In recent years, there has been a boom in online shopping websites. Generally, these websites are more convenient than going to malls. However, these websites are often used for many scams and fraudulent sellers.
First try namin bumili online for yung online shop din namin. Doon pa kami naloko. Ako si Winston Flores. May online shop kami ng girlfriend ko. Ang source nung mga stocks namin ay online din and local source din. Ang nangyari sa akin, nung naghahanap ako ng stocks ko para maibenta, naloko ako na hindi dumating yung stocks ko pero nakapagbayad na ako. Umabot ng 3 linggo na hinahabol ko yung tao na hinahanap ko, tinawagan ko sa cellphone, hindi na siya matawagan, cannot be reached na. Inattempt ko yung email niya at saka yung account. Lumalabas doon sa website is hindi na nag-exist yung kanyang account. So, bali ang naging presyo ng produkto is about mga 8,000 worth of cosmetics. At first, it seems legit kasi nandoon yung resibo, in-email niya sa akin, yung photo. Tapos, ang sabi sa akin, baka ma-delay lang. So, naniwala rin naman ako na ma-delay lang. After mga 3 araw, napansin ko na hindi na talaga dumarating. Yan, hindi na namin nabawi yung pera, hindi rin namin nakuha yung produkto. So, kinonsider na lang namin na loss.
Are these online shopping websites covered by the Consumer Act? What should buyers do when they are duped by questionable websites? What should the management of online websites know before partnering with sellers? Good evening, I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno, and you are watching Legal Help Desk on the Solar News Channel. This show is about making the law work for you by giving legal advice on topics that matter to you.
And I'm Attorney Nepomuceno. Tonight, we will be discussing the issue of consumer rights with regard to online shopping. What you need to know before making a transaction online, and what you need to do should you experience being duped or being scammed by them.
Joining us tonight is Director Arnaldo Del Rosario of the DTI NCR Area 2. Good evening and thank you for being with us tonight.
Good evening, Attorney.
Good evening, Director. Good evening, Attorney. Ayan, this is quite exciting because it's ongoing.
Yes, actually, even before, I've had people come up to me and say, Attorney, can you do a feature naman on online website shopping? Kasi may mga complaints nga about certain website providers na may mga naloko na. And this is the case, what happened with the person we interviewed today, no? Na paano yung mga ganito na nag-order ka, akala mo legit meron pang resibo, but never dumating yung produkto. Saan sila pwede lumapit so that they can either get their money back or at least stop these fake website sellers?
Yes, Attorney. In the Consumer Act of the Philippines, there are provisions regarding this misrepresentation or non-delivery of products which was purchased by the consumer. So under the Consumer Act, there are several provisions, like for example, your deceptive sales acts and practices, false misrepresentation, or they can use the provision on the law on warranties.
All right.
So if the goods delivered to them are defective, they can make use of the law.
No, yes. But short of, sorry, just a follow-up question on that. Short of going to the court, which is really, kasi I'm sure lahat ng Pinoy medyo reluctant lagi na magdedemanda pa ba ako because they know it's a long process. To what extent for instance, your agency DTI can help them para mas mabilis yung proseso na makapagreklamo agad sila?
Yeah. The DTI is a quasi-judicial agency, so we can hear cases, we can file administrative cases against those airing establishments using the Consumer Act of the Philippines.
Right.
So, if ever they are victimized by these online shopping websites, they can file a complaint with the DTI.
And may formality ba yun? Is there a form that they fill up, or is it an ordinary letter to, I guess, the director of DTI, such as yourself?
Yes.
May form ba yan?
There is a form which they have to fill up. Fill in the blanks lang
fill
ito,
in the blanks.
And they will just narrate what happened to them, and then they will have to provide proof of transaction. So the one interviewed said may resibo naman siya, but hindi binigay yung kanyang produktong binili. So that's the only evidence that he has to present to DTI for us to pursue the case.
Ah, that's good. And does the DTI have the power to take out these websites, shut them down para walang iba pang maloko?
Ang DTI po ay no power to shut down, but we can coordinate with the local government units where they are located. So for example, they are located in Makati, we can coordinate Makati City Hall and then tell them that this is an establishment violating the Consumer Act every offense, so we can ask them to close the...
So you can work with a
Or
particular
at least
city,
kung
no?
under
Yes, the
investigation.
police.
Kasi baka nga naman unfair din kung sabihin agad na this website is a fraud kung meron lang one case, di ba? So, pero kung marami ng complaints, maybe, paano yun? Lalagyan ba nila ng warning yung website? Or how can other people be warned?
Sa amin po, sa DTI, may process, attorney. No? So once a complaint is filed with the DTI, we will summon the airing establishment and ask them what happened to this buyer, and then we will ask them if they can refund or if they can deliver the good or service that they promised to deliver to the consumer.
More often than not, at that level, naayos naman.
Yes,
More often than not.
yes, attorney.
No, itong mga websites, no, these websites are selling goods. No? Sometimes the website itself is not the one that's selling. Diba? Minsan they're a conduit. No?
Yeah.
We have some websites na they become like advertising platforms. You can advertise your goods there, and then they act sort of like a middleman. Sa mga ganon, yung platform na yun is not liable, right?
If they have partner establishments, they will tell the consumer, oh, you buy from me and I will partner with Attorney Rod Nepomuceno and you will get the good or service from Attorney Nepomuceno. I am liable because I am partnering with
like an agent, parang in a way, parang
yes,
agent ka.
So, hindi pwedeng
establishment.
defense yun. Kasi I think some
Yes.
people, when they complain to these websites nga na online shopping websites, sasabihin nila, no, but they're just a supplier, so we cannot do anything, we shouldn't be liable. So it's not a defense.
No, it's not a defense. You are liable for partnering with a merchant. However, there are sites which serve as a platform wherein they will just let anybody advertise in their site, and then
Yung mga eBay type ba, yung ganun, yun yung mga hindi liable?
Hindi liable.
that's an advertising platform.
Advertising
Okay.
lang. Okay.
Okay.
Now, ito ba, like, if you're putting up a business, you normally require a business permit, right?
business name.
Or a business name from
Yes.
DTI, right?
Yes.
Ito bang mga websites ito, do you require the same?
If they are a corporation, they will have to register with the Securities and Exchange Commission. If they are single proprietorship business, they will have to register with us.
So, sole proprietorship, they have to, di ba?
But
So-
everybody should be registering with an appropriate government agency.
Right, either SEC,
SEC or
for
DTI,
business
yes.
name. That's right.
Okay.
So in effect, if someone is using a website selling through that and they don't have a business permit, then you can shut them down, right? Is that
The
possible?
local government
The local
unit
government, okay.
can shut them down.
On the basis of having no business permit.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So maybe let's answer maybe a few questions from our viewers with the help of our guest. No, our first question comes from Carlos, and he asks: I was recently scammed by a popular online shopping website. I purchased 30,000 worth of vouchers for their travel deals. I later learned that the travel agency they were affiliated with was fake, even though they have the DTI promo permits for their deals. I emailed the website about my case, but they never answered any of them. I'm devastated by this. Can you please advise me on how I should go about my case? Ayan,
Parang
so-
perfect yung question kay Director Arnie. Kasi Director Arnie, because he was writing to the DTI.
Yes,
What
and
can do?
he was mentioning there is a DTI permit. So meaning if the DTI permit is given, it passed through the scrutiny of our agency.
Yeah,
So probably it's a sales promotion activity being conducted by this establishment. So if there is a DTI permit, you can go to DTI and relay your experience, and we can trace.
Provide the number, no?
Provide the number,
of
the DTI permit number. We can trace if the DTI permit number provided was a legitimate number or they are
scammed
getting it from anywhere else.
But so in this case, ano ho yung magiging remedy niya in case na-trace nyo na nga? How can he get his money back?
Okay, so we will call both parties to a mediation conference. If ever the airing party would give in to the request, then the case is solved. But if not, we can pursue an administrative case against the respondent.
And the
Meaning
respondent would, in this case, kasi mukhang it's an online shopping, popular online shopping website daw that was selling travel promos.
Travel vouchers.
So it's likely another provider na naman. So ang masasamon ho ba dito would be both the online shopping website and the travel promo provider?
Now, we will first summon the travel website.
Okay.
And then if they can solve the problem, good. But if not, we can still summon the one providing the travel voucher.
Now, you said
Okay,
you're
that's
a
good.
quasi-judicial body, di ba? So in this case, what if the website says, no, we delivered it. So that becomes parang evidentiary?
Yes,
Yeah?
they will have to provide the
Yeah.
evidence that they have delivered
Yeah.
the
So, but the hearings in yours, just to clarify it for our televiewers, you don't need a lawyer, right? You don't need a lawyer
no.
representation.
That's good to
So
know.
In fact, you
Okay.
can represent yourself and say, okay, I need this. I want the refund of my money
Yeah.
given to them.
That's
Alright.
good to know. And we have another question from our viewer. Let's watch this.
Nag-online shopping kasi ako last year. Bumili ako ng mga cosmetic products through online. Pagka-ship sa akin ng item, I found out na mali yung mga binigay sa akin na items. Ano po ba dang pwedeng gawin doon? Saan po ako ahensya na pwedeng humingi ng tulong?
Okay. Direct Arnie, I think this is what you were talking about earlier naman. Pagka mali naman yung
Wrong
delivery. Kasi we have earlier a question na hindi binigay at all, but this one, mali naman yung binigay sa kanya. What can she do? Pwede ba siyang lumapit sa DTI?
Pwede rin po sa DTI because as I mentioned earlier, our Consumer Act has a provision on return of defective products. By defective, meaning it cannot be used for its intended purpose.
Or it's not
It doesn't mean na sira, as in
Yes.
mali yung binigay from what
mali
you bought.
yung,
No?
Mali yung binili, hindi yun ang binibili ko. So, it is considered defective. So, you can return defective products.
Okay.
Bawal po yung no return, no exchange.
Bawal yun.
Bawal yun. Under our Consumer Act, no return, no exchange is a no-no.
Okay, so in this case, she should either try to get her money back or refund.
Yes.
Or get the right
Or
items.
get the right item.
Pag hindi talaga, then she can report to the DTI.
But
Yes.
related to that, yung no return exchange policy, what if they provide 7 days? You can return pero within 7 days. Is that still valid?
Yung pong 7 days, attorney, is only for non-defective products. Some merchants would accept returns of non-defective products. Pero pag po defective, talagang hindi pwede yung after 7 days, you cannot return. Defective they should get redress
Right. Okay.
from the defective product or
So,
service.
hindi pa defend yung after 7 days.
No,
na.
no,
Oo,
hindi
ang
po.
dami kasi ngayon may mga ganyan
Oo, 7
resibo
days lang.
No return, no exchange. Bawal yun, no? And I hope our viewers know that.
Alright.
Okay, let's take a short break. Legal Help Desk will return after these reminders. You are still watching Legal Help Desk on the Solar News channel, and we are still joined by our guest, Director Arnaldo Del Rosario of the Department of Trade and Industry. And before we answer our next set of viewer questions, let's discuss first what's the difference between online shopping websites like yung mga nagbebenta nga ng vouchers and discount coupons and websites like sulit.com. Like what we were discussing earlier, I think this is what Director Arnie was talking about, yung platform na taga-advertise lang and platforms na talagang sila mismo yung nagbebenta. So maybe you can enlighten our viewers.
Para they know the difference lang.
Oo.
Yung platform kasi, attorney, they are a website wherein they will let other merchants advertise in their website. So there's no relationship between them and the one advertising their products or services.
Yeah,
in
parang
the website.
classified. Parang classified sila.
Parang dyaryo.
And this
Dario.
is what sulit.com is, for instance. Yung, kunwari, meron silang list ng mga binibenta, tapos pwede kang bumili.
Yes.
They're more fun
Yes.
classified ads
Anybody
or advertising
anybody can
platform.
post the product that they want to sell, and then anybody can search what products they want to buy.
Okay.
And they're not selling, let's say for example, Sulit, no? Sulit branded products. Diba? They're,
But
you
the
know,
other,
but the others are,
other online website shopping, either they sell their own products or sila yung nagbebenta ng vouchers to different providers.
Right.
And Director Arnie, how does this affect what remedies consumers have with these two types of platforms?
For those who are just using their website for others to advertise, we can also ask them to come to DTI
Okay.
if ever there's a complaint. Because the first company or the first respondent should be the one using the advertisement.
Right.
So the consumer would know, dito ko binili yun. So if they file a complaint with the DTI, we will call the company being complained about. Dito ko binili.
That
So
makes
you-
sense.
That makes, that's clear.
And then if the first company we summon or the respondent tell us that ito po sa kanila dapat
and
then
you
we will
refer- you
have
refer
to
them.
then we will have to ask the other company to come to DTI.
Now,
Okay.
speaking of sulit.com, no, we actually just received a statement from them in response to what happened to our case study, and it reads, sulit.com.ph is a buy and sell website that fully supports online entrepreneurship in the country. Transactions happening on sulit.com.ph are purely between sellers and buyers only, and we serve as the advertising platform that helps these sellers promote their products and or services to a broader market. We encourage our users to always review the feedback received by the seller through our seller feedback score badge. Sulit.com.ph users are recommended to report scam accounts so we can have it removed immediately from our website once validated. We also are willing to fully cooperate and work with the proper authorities if there may be fraudulent activities that need investigation. Ayan.
Okay, so pag ganito ba,
Thank you,
when they
Sulit.com.
say basically that we're just an advertising platform, pwede pa rin sila ipatawag based on what you said, right? And
Yes,
paano kung
attorney.
ayaw magbayad nung nagbenta nga sa website nila? Sino yung hahabulin ng mga naloko? Katulad nung in-interview natin kanina.
Then we will have to look for that particular merchant which did not honor the transaction.
And they can't force you, or basically you cannot talk to the online advertising platform to pay for whatever is being
No.
claimed. But for pagka naman sa mga voucher sellers,
Pagka sa mga vouchers, they have
pwedeng sila
yes,
yung
they
magbayad.
have relationship with the partner merchants.
Okay, kaya they can be held liable.
Yes.
Kung ayaw magbayad nung binentahan nilang promo, kunwari yung travel agent kanina, travel package, then yung mismong nagbenta ng voucher na provider has to pay the claimant. No?
I see.
Especially if they are conducting sales promotion activity, they will get a certain amount of discount for if you buy from us, and you will get a certain amount of discount if you buy a plane ticket from this partner merchant.
Yeah, yung mga ganong no. Okay. So they have to watch out for that. Now, let's continue answering a few more questions from our viewers. Our next question is from June, and she asks, I purchased a kitchen equipment from a shopping site. I was forced to transact twice since the first one was not processed properly. Now, according to the website's technical team, when I received my credit card statement, I was charged twice for the one product. I demanded for a refund, but the website will not do so. They said that they only charged me for one. Who is at fault for this type of error? Shouldn't they have a system where mistakes like these will not happen? So double click.
I'm curious
question
about
again.
Direct Arnie's answer to this. Kasi nangyari na sa akin yan eh.
Yep.
Nag-error yung page. So,
Right.
I went back, clicked on exactly the same purchase. Biglang nung
It's happened to me then.
dumating na yung credit card statement ko, dalawa, eksakto yung amount. And I
Yeah.
kept complaining to the website provider, and the number they provided, hindi pa nag-work properly. So imagine, I went to their office. Kasi parang for me, it's not just the amount,
It's a
parang
principle.
nakakainis ka
It's a
naisip mo,
principle eh.
ginagawa ba nila sa ibang tao to? Imagine if I didn't check my credit card statement,
Yes.
dalawa yung
Exactly.
binayaran ko. And they kept saying, yeah, we'll refund. It took so long.
Happened to me
bago
rin eh.
ma-reverse.
So,
So, what
mga
can we do about these types of
The same
websites?
process, attorney. You can file a complaint with the DTI. We will summon the respondent, and we will ask them what happened to this. If they can prove that they only charge you once, then we can ask the complainant if it's true. But if they cannot prove, then they will ask the respondent to refund the overcharging.
Oh, because in this case, the problem is there was you click purchase twice for the same amount, but it's very highly unlikely that you're going to purchase the same thing
Oo,
Yes,
the
twice.
same
di
thing,
ba?
exactly.
So
Kasi baka iba naman
so,
sabihin, oo, baka naman buyer's remorse ka lang, dalawa binili mo, pero ayaw gusto mo pa cancel. But Director Arnie, what's the difference naman? Kunwari, in-acknowledge nila na, in my case, sinabi nila, yeah, sorry, it's our error. Pero they kept delaying naman yung pag-reverse ng transaction. Meaning, yung sinasabi nilang refund, ang tagal. Can we still go to the DTI to complain about a delay,
in
reversing or refunding?
Yes. Pwede po yun. Kasi nga, meron po tayong consumer rights, di ba? So, yun po yung number one mandate ng DTI is to protect the interest of the consumer. So, kung dinidelay, pero they acknowledge that I will give you what you paid me, but
you wait for 6 months.
wait for another month. So you can
I know
go
an
to
airline na
DTI.
ganun. Wait for 6 months before you
Hindi po
and
pwede
nakalimutan
yun.
mo na.
That's
Then after
very
a while,
comforting to know, no? Na pag ganito may kakampi kang government agency that will really help you.
Yeah.
Our next question is from Mary Ann, and she asks, I'm an online seller selling clothes and accessories, and I have experienced being duped by many bogus buyers.
Buyers naman.
How can I be protected from them when the Consumer Act only protects consumers or buyers? Ito, baliktad na situation.
Siguro, she gave the product, pero hindi siya binayaran.
But I don't think it's the DTI that will address this situation. Pagka naman, sellers ang naluloko ng buyers na nakabenta sila pero ayaw silang bayaran. Where can sellers go?
Well, they can try going to the Department of Trade and Industry, and then we will refer it to the proper government agency. Kasi we have the Consumer Net Attorney. It's a group of consumer protection agencies wherein we can ask them if ever it's not within our jurisdiction. So we can ask, for example, SEC or the National Bureau of Investigation if it will need further investigation or police
I think
work.
in this case, sellers can go to the NBI, right?
Yes,
it's a possibility.
Yeah,
Para
ma-investigate.
bordering to
Kasi hindi mo,
estafa
yun yung problema sa online, you don't even know sinong dinedemanda mo. So it's not like you can just go to court and
that's
say
the
this
tough part.
specific buyer, di ba?
Anyway, Genevieve is asking us, is the DTI the only government agency that handles cases of bogus online sellers? What are the chances of authorities finding and apprehending them, since many of them close their online accounts and change their phone numbers?
Okay.
That's
Parang ganito
quite
yung nangyari
common.
sa case study natin today, di ba?
Who knows? So is DTI the only place, or can they go to the LGU? Or
Yeah, they can go to the local government units if that particular establishment is located in Mandaluyong. They can go to the City Hall of Mandaluyong because these are being given business permits.
Or theoretically, dapat meron.
Dapat po. And then if they are conducting sales promotion, they should be given permit by proper government authority. For example, if they are conducting promotion using hazardous chemicals or medicine, it's under the Food and Drugs Administration of DOH. If they are handling consumer products, they are under the DTI. So, pag may sales promotion, they should indicate the permit number at the end of the advertisement.
Okay. Pero kung hindi mo talaga alam yung location dahil nga online lang, I guess you can go to the NBI.
Yes, SEC, ask for the address of that particular company, Securities and Exchange Commission, the local government unit, or the DTI, or if it's a heavier case, maybe the National Bureau of Investigation.
Okay.
Okay, so at least do we have a hotline, sir? You have a hotline, no?
Yes, they can call our hotline. It's called DTI Direct. It's 751-3330.
Ayun.
Okay,
All right,
very
so it's flashed
helpful.
on the screen.
Yes.
So thank you very much, sir. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have left. We'd like to thank our guest, Director Arnaldo Del Rosario, for being with us today. Thank you, sir, and explaining your legal rights as a consumer of online shopping. I'm Attorney Rod Nepomuceno.
And I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno. Join us again next Monday as we discuss your legal rights on the issue of service incentive leaves and constructive dismissals here on Legal Help Desk. Good night.
Produkto. So, kinonsider na lang namin na loss.
Are these online shopping websites covered by the Consumer Act? What should buyers do when they are duped by questionable websites? What should the management of online websites know before partnering with sellers? Good evening, I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno, and you are watching Legal Help Desk on the Solar News Channel. This show is about making the law work for you by giving legal advice on topics that matter to you.
And I'm Attorney Nepomuceno. Tonight, we will be discussing the issue of consumer rights with regard to online shopping. What you need to know before making a transaction online.
In recent years, there has been a boom in online shopping websites. Generally, these websites are more convenient than going to malls.
Na hinahanap ko, tinawagan ko sa cellphone, hindi na siya matawagan, cannot be reached na. In-attempt ko yung email niya at saka yung account. Lumalabas doon sa website is hindi na nag-exist yung kanyang account. So, bali ang naging presyo ng produkto is about mga 8,000 worth of cosmetics. At first, it seems legit kasi nandoon yung resibo, in-email niya sa akin, yung photo. Tapos, ang sabi sa akin, baka ma-delay lang. So, naniwala rin naman ako na ma-delay lang. After mga 3 araw, napansin ko na hindi na talaga dumarating. Yan, hindi na namin nabawi yung pera, hindi rin namin nakuha yung...
However, these websites are often used for many scams and fraudulent sellers.
First try namin bumili online for yung online shop din namin. Doon pa kami naloko. Ako si Winston Flores. May online shop kami ng girlfriend ko. Ang source nung mga stocks namin ay online din and local source din. Ang nangyari sa akin, nung naghahanap ako ng stocks ko para maibenta, naloko ako na hindi dumating yung stocks ko pero nakapagbayad na ako. Umabot ng 3 linggo na hinahabol ko yung tao.
And what you need to do should you experience being duped or being scammed by them.
Joining us tonight is Director Arnaldo Del Rosario of the DTI NCR Area 2. Good evening and thank you for being with us tonight.
Good evening, Attorney
Good evening,
Karen.
Director.
Good evening,
Attorney.
sir.
Ayan, this is quite exciting because it's ongoing.
Yes,
A
actually,
lot of
even before, I've had
transactions.
people come up to me and say, Attorney, can you do a feature naman on online website shopping? Kasi may
Yeah.
mga complaints nga about certain website providers na may mga naloko na. And this is the case, what happened with the person we interviewed today, no? Na paano yung mga ganito na